Okay, we're looking at question 23, the final question in the fourth logic game of PrepTest 71. And this question asks us, if T and V must appear next to one another, which of the following is a pair of paintings that must appear in the order in which they're listed? Okay. The question's worded slightly differently than that, but that is the gist of what it's asking us. So let's go ahead and get our limited options up on the screen here. In limited option 1, V occurs in the third spot. In limited option 2, V occurs in the fourth spot. So we want to incorporate our new rule, and we can see right off the bat that in each of these options, our new rule is going to give us two possibilities. First, T is right before V. In our second possibility, T is right after V. Same down here. So what does that tell us using the rest of our rules? Well, let's look here first. There's a couple possibilities for R and M. So we could just plug them into one of them here. And you'll notice that if we plug them in right there, we're not going to have space for P and S to be next to each other. So let's delete that and try them in their other possible location, which creates the same problem. No space for P and S to be next to each other. So we're not looking at this scenario. Up here, we could place R and M right here in 5 and 7, allowing P and S to go in spaces 1 and 2, and W in spot 6. So we have one possibility thus far. Now we come down here to limited option 2, and we'll try to fill this one in. Here, the only place for R and M is 5 and 7. That would allow us to put P and S in 1 and 2, and W in the 6th spot. And up here in our final possibility, the only space where R and M could go is in 1 and 3. That would force P and S here to 6 and 7, and it would also force us to place W in the second spot. That makes W earlier than T. That breaks one of our rules, so this scenario is not possible. So we have only two scenarios to look at. We're wondering which is a pair, which of the answer choices is a pair of paintings that must appear in the order listed. So in answer choice A, does P always have to be before S? No way. We know S and P are interchangeable. That doesn't have to occur. Does R always have to occur before W? Certainly it does here in our first option, and it does here in our second option as well. So this one's looking good, but let's check the rest. T before V. Nope, T comes after V in our first option. V before T. No, V comes after T in our second option. And finally, W before R. And we've already seen how R comes before W in both of them, so that can't be true. And B is therefore the correct answer to the last question in the last game of PrepTest 71.